Ladies and gentlemen, spoiler season for Outsiders has officially begun, courtesy of none other than my good friend Red Zone Rogue. He kicked us off yesterday in a surprise twist, spoiling Utsudi, Uzuri. One of those. Utsudi Switchblade. I'm just gonna say Utsudi, okay? I'm just gonna say it like that. Utsudi Switchblade, which is absolutely fantastic. Really, really cool. We're gonna talk about her, but we're also gonna cover a lot of the other information that we got from both his video and a couple of other things I want to show you as we enter spoiler season, because here on my YouTube channel, what I like to do is a nice little spoiler recap every day if I can manage it, and it's going to be difficult to manage this time, and I'm going to show you why. Because if you go to the spoiler page, and you it's like, oh, this is everyone spoiling a card tomorrow. Oh my goodness, that is so much. That's so much. It's going to be, oh my gosh, it's going to be so exciting. But it's going to be difficult to recap all of this. So the first thing that I want to say, and I say this in every video for every spoiler season that I do on this, for every recap, you need to go. You need to go with emphasis, emphatically. You need to go to all of these people, all of these content creators, all of these wonderful people that make video. Okay, that T is not a secret link for a spoiler. You need to go and support all of them. Everyone I've talked to, every one of my friends that make spoiler videos, they put so much time, effort, energy into doing something fun or exciting or unique or cool for their spoiler. And I go and support them because it's a way of saying thank you for taking the time to make something extra special. And that's cool, and I support that, and I want you to go and check them out as well. So to start everything off, you should go and check out Red Zone Rouge. Is that Rouge? R-O-G-U-E? Or how do you spell Rogue? Now I'm looking at that like that can't be right. I'm pretty sure that says Rouge. Anyway, Red Zone, go see Kel's video. Go watch Kel's video. If you missed it last night, it was a fantastic time, and he did a great job on the video as well, so go check it out. So with all of that said, let's talk about his spoiler cards, starting with, of course, Utsudi Switchblade, a 4 intellect, 40 health assassin hero that has this really interesting ability that says once per turn attack reaction, banish a card from your hand face down. That is the cost. There is a colon there. It's hard to see, but that's the cost, okay? The cost is banishing the card face down, at which point your opponent technically can respond to that cost. Now, they can respond with a variety of things. They can respond, because this is in the reaction step, they can respond with instants, they can respond with defense reactions, they can respond with Waning Moon, because that's a thing people do. Crown of Seeds. They could technically respond with Crown of Seeds. Unfortunately, they could do that. Anyway, they can make any of these responses to this effect, but once they have, done their things or passed it back to you, what you do following that is turn the banished card, the one that you took from your hand and banished, you turn that card face up, reveal it. If it's an attack action card with cost 2 or less, then you are going to swap that in on the current chain link if and only if the card that you're currently attacking with on that chain link, like let's pretend it's this card, is a attacking card with stealth. Okay, so if this active chain link, the thing I'm attacking you with right now that we're responding to, is a stealth card, then I can do the Switchblade effect. I can reveal a 2 or less cost attack, and then I can swap-a-rooney those. The card that I swap in from my hand is now attacking. The card that I swapped out that has stealth goes on the bottom of my deck. That is a cool effect, and it opens the door for a lot of very tricky things. First of all, it opens the door for being able to swap in Command and Conquer, because that card's really good. Have you ever heard of that card, Command and Conquer? It's a really good card, because all of a sudden, if you swap in Command and Conquer, your opponent goes, ah yes, my arsenal, it's destroyed, because I did not block 6 prior, because Command and Conquer, you can't do the defense reaction thing to it. So if your opponent wants to respond to the cost of this by, face down banishing, and then they respond to that with defense reactions, they're gonna need to do it then. The same thing is kind of true if you swap in like Exude Confidence, for example, because swapping in Exude Confidence basically turns off the ability to react or play instants unless your opponent blocked originally with attack greater than the base, or the attack on Exude Confidence. Like, I blank on the name of the card I'm talking about. How embarrassing and unprofessional. So you could swap that in. Weirdly fun. My first thought, actually no, this was my second thought. My first thought was swapping in Snatch, because then you get to hit, draw a card. That's pretty cool. My second thought, this is the spicy one, always getting the 0 for 5 go again on Ravenous Rabble Red. It's always a 0 for 5. You don't have to hit Gorganian Tome anymore. You just get the value of the 0 for 5. And that's what we want here, value. So there's like a lot of really interesting things you can do with this card. There's some interesting like timing things as well, and some like object permanence, like maintaining effects that you have to think about with this card. Basically, if the card's like doing something while on the combat chain, and then you swap it out, then all of a sudden the card is no longer doing said thing. So if you want me to go through and explain how like functionally these cards work within the game state and how this effect works, leave a comment down below. I'll make a video dedicated to how the Switchblade effect actually functions. Tell me down there if you want me to make that video, because I've been I guess since this effect was spoiled for the better part of the day today, just kind of like thinking through all the things you can do. And I'm sure Kel's been doing that for like, I don't know, ages or something like that. And of course, the beautiful utsudi art, really cool looking. I love the Mysteria border, because she was originally from Mysteria, as we can see. I don't know the lore, but now she's in the pits. That's super cool. I like that. I like that switch there. I think that's fun. He also spoiled in his video, again, go watch it. He spoiled Shakedown, a 2-cost 6 attack assassin attack action that is a majestic, and this is her specialization, so she can be the only one that plays it. And it says this: if you've played or activated an attack reaction this chain link, which by the way, using her effect, the Switchblade effect actually activates her effect here too. But you could also activate this with like, you know, attack reactions in general that you play from hand. Essentially, activating any of those attack reactions on this chain link, then Shakedown gains this text. When it hits, you choose red, yellow, or blue, and in doing so, your opponent shows you what they have in their hand, and then you banish a card of that color. So if you have a good read on your opponent's deck composition, then you can essentially just pick that color that you think is most prevalent in their deck. Like, let's say Prism was still in the format. Spoiler alert, Prism's coming back. Do you see that? I didn't get a chance to make a video because I was working on my spoiler, but hey, Prism's coming back. Let's say Prism still likes yellows, and you say yellow. When this hits, then they show their hand. You get to see what's in their hand, and you can take the best yellow out of it, which is pretty cool. So this is a good little scary attack, and the fact that it's just a nice little 2 for 6, even if you don't turn that on, is super solid in general, super duper solid. So this is one of those cards that it just feels really good. Even if you don't have the effect active, it just feels solid, just feels really good. There were a couple of other cards spoiled in this, like Backstab, for example, which is a cycle. It's a rare. It's a 3 for nothing. It's a 0 for 3. Has stealth, so it is one of those cards that allows you to swap out with the Switchblade effect, so that you can swap something else in because it has the stealth keyword. And it says defense reactions can't be played to Backstab's chain link. Now, this is only like active while Backstab is on the chain link. So if you swap this out for something else, your opponent can actually activate defense reactions. I believe that is 100% confirmed. That's what he said in the video yesterday. But a solid little like starter. I think of these as like combo starters for Ninja. They're almost like ways to extend that your opponent has to either consider whether or not they want to respect or just let go by. Same thing with Infect. Infect, a starter for stealth. It's a 0 for 3 as well, and this one has an on hit, which is pretty cool. And then Isolate is a really interesting starter because it is a 0 for 3 with stealth and dominate. So your opponent can block it with 1 card, and then if they don't have a defense reaction, well, then it's probably blocked out, because if they block for 3 and they don't have any defense reactions, then they're safe. But if you swap this with something like that 2 for 6, where is it? That 2 for 6, this is almost guaranteed to hit, because if they're not playing defense reactions, then this effect is probably going to go off and just destroy, or just at least see their hand, mangle their hand a little bit, which is pretty cool. So this Dominate does have some little interesting play. Now, it doesn't make this effect still dominated. Like if your opponent, for example, chooses to block with a card from hand here, and then you swap this out, they can defense react from their hand because dominate is no longer effective, since this card is not the object that is on the stack, if you will, on the chain link. So that was another really cool spoiler. I haven't talked about this one yet. Mask of Many Faces is a perplexing card. It blocks for 1, it blade breaks. Cost 1 to activate the instant effect, but in doing so, you name a card, and the next attack action card you play this turn gets that name. This card is so good. It's so good because it smooths over like so many different combo lines that previously were just a little off the mark. Just a little bit off the mark. And even honestly, here's the crazy thing too. It doesn't even necessarily have to be that it falls in the middle of the combo line, right? Like say you have the combo starter and then you miss the middle piece and then you have the combo finisher. So what Mask of Many Faces can become the middle piece. It just turns any attack into the middle piece. That's cool. But Mask of Many Faces can be the combo starter as well, allowing the finisher in your hand to trigger and activate. And that's what makes this really, really good. This card is super cool, and it's a common, which is great. It's great that that's a common. It's really good. Head Leads the Tail is pretty cool art, very Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon-esque, and it says, well, first of all, it's a 1 for 3, so it's a little understated, quite a bit understated in my opinion, because it also blocks for 2. It's a Majestic, but it says when this attacks, name another card. Attack action cards with that name have +1 this combat chain, and then go again. This is, holy crap, I blanked on the name. Holy crap, I blanked on the name. It's that the fire Spreading Flames. That's the one. It's Spreading Flames. That was the card I was thinking of. It's like Spreading Flames in a way, because if you're playing like a specific, I don't know, like 100 Winds, for example. If you're playing a specific combo line that has a bunch of like iterations in the deck, like 100 Winds, then you can just like have a hand with 2 or 300 Winds, and then this gets +3. So it effectively becomes like a 1 for 6 across 3 attacks. That is the key right there. If this were just a 1 for 6, we'd be like, oh my god, a 1 for 6 is insane. But it's not just a 1 for 6. It's a 1 for 6 across 3 attacks that can turn, annoying attacks into breakpoint attacks, right? Like 3 attack cards into 4 attack cards. This card's really cool. It'll sometimes just be underwhelming though, simply because if you name like just a card that you have 1 of in your hand, then it's not necessarily that effective. So it has more like high roll potential if you're playing specific combo lines, but it's cool and the design is cool, and it's probably not the best, but it's cool. And then finally, the Bruce Lee card, Be Like Water. Look it up. Bruce Lee said that kinda in a way. Paraphrasing. Really amazing art. It looks really cool. Costs nothing. It attacks for 3, and it says when this hits, you can pay 1. If you do, choose Head Jab, Surging Strike, or Twin Twisters. This gains the chosen name. So again, we're fixing combo by just creating cards that can transform themselves in combo. And look, here's the thing about all of these cards that have been spoiled so far. They're fixing the combo effect. They're messing with like Ranger by including aim counters, which we still haven't seen exactly how that's going to pan out. But they're taking these underserved mechanics and they're buffing them, but they're not doing it by just like, hey, all of your combo cards get +1. It's not like that. It's not like blatant, let's just fix it. It's so stinking thematic. That's what's great about this, is that there's theme to this, and it's almost as if you're a ninja, you're making a motion and then you're feinting into another attack. That is so cool. I like visually just picture that, and I love every bit of it. All of it. I think it's so thematic. Hey, look, there's that guy. I think it's so thematic, and I just can't wait to see more of this stuff. So that, up until now, that's everything that's been spoiled. As we go into official day 1 of the spoiler season. If you want to see this list, by the way, because you can click all of these links to go to where they're spoiling, literally just go to FabTCG. I'll show you. Look, just go to the website, fabtcg.com. Go down here, go to Outsiders Spoilers. Okay, click this button. And then that takes you right here. And if you want to see the page that I've been looking at all of these on with all these cards here, literally just click this button right here. Okay, so you can follow along. My spoiler is a pretty good one, and it is on Sunday. It's on Sunday, and right now I'm aiming for 2 p.m. Central Time, so look that up. 2 p.m. Central Time. It is perhaps the best possible time for all regions that I could possibly fit into one. So let's all get together and let's take a look at something. If you enjoyed the video, make a number climb slightly higher. If you want to be a patron, you become cooler when you become a patron. This is true. It's just how that works. As always, thanks for watching.